na CBM highway sports we yɛbɛkɔ ne kakra kɔpem sɛ yɛde live commentary ɛde ɛbɛbrɛmo na ɛnɛ deɛ no we akɔyɛ special edition bi akɔyɛ sɛ yi bi no danger man
head of sports oh me hoye
na nyoma ɛkɔ kama
ɛne na mu sɛ ubadi ano
1.7 FM
sɛ me si fom afi de mafro
usi fom
kakra
oba na dimika na
ahen sɛ tamaso
okay
no na yabo amanfo fi ase atuni in a omutie promise so ho nti na sɛ ye ba na yebesom
okay
on sɛ ɛyɛ osom
awia mihia atane ata
yes
mihia atane ata
say the whole ayi omo you got the
omo so omo chia wo ne sɛ
me kra dem ebu ha
omo so omo hu wo nkyɛ
me twafa ho no makɔgye yogurt kakra gu mi me dem me fa ho pa omo anu ma fa ho me kwa magye me yogurt
na ho de dia boa Bomanintu.
No comment.
Eti yashase se wo beda kwaba. Bibia bokode.
Yaba.
Okay. Akomi asechi.
Yes, boss.
Bibia bokode. Okay. Eti highway sports enie aha e promise 102.7 program no ubetimi ahwe e wo Facebook search for a promise radio Saso na at our passports on Facebook also betimi ahwe program no ye bedidi nkoma kakra titiu efa eye enra game a ekoso ewo eye Felix Fobonye Sports Stadium eno ewo Abidjan ne ho ena eye the Black Stars of Ghana ene Cape Verde ana Cape Verde edi esiani a Cape Verde ehye Ghana kamienu emietimu eba ku nsembebre ena ekoso ewo game after the game so nyoma bebre ena ekoso ne kura no dodo na ekoso enche ye de ani ebekira Abidjan na ye ne the sports lawyer Baba Isa akwakodi enkomo ewo ho abedwafo atena sie ye behwe Ghana said the tournament no AC ekoye chances ahead of yen second game a ebeba so nyame yadoma yawada abre ni Egypt edi AC ani no ni nyina ne behwe se Ghana ye wo chance see betimi qualify to the next stage of the competition as betimi ahye Egypt na yakohwe kwan ye befa so de last game ani Mozambique bebo no ye betimi e de afaso nyina ne ye behwe Mohamed Kudus ne situation say NC etie ni nyina wiai opese wote a obete e wo promise 102.7 dwumade ni din e highway sports afi clubs ne so guso amo sensan players enne awiai Kumasi Asante Kotoko announce a player foforo or joining Asante Kotoko ahead of the second round of the Ghana Premier League. Nina no, you be doing Komahazo folks who so sign players been so far across the folk as some other clubs also no say now omo transfer no AC Eco Nina no yatra say a way Nina Ebebrem say and then a transfer window never a year. Okay. Tino more science I know.
No more jegumpa. Okay. Tiba Chanadia na soon sign who will be at the body.
Movement na is slow pa.
Is it the corner the bed
because obi am person obeko.
Time we and na go catch you be so uncle.
Obi aso uncle.
Yeah, semo. Oi, so ya na catch you was me cool.
Dabra we are. So we da so betu amsika nyina ma me. Ana say ne me metena ho na me no wa share ko akati. Bosum so amagimi pepe opa ma.
Ye be be line kakra eso e de amama na mo de madwen kira ba 0536161607 0536161607 and afi 0536178883 edruwa na ya na so na so afre na afi wo de wadwen kira aba fa messages nyina efa eye Facebook ese search for Promise Radio and ase oil passports ho nyina no baby ado message be fa bia no ebinya daje na awia yi abamoden akan ede amamo say the message aka no ene no we special edition ti ye be kɔ ne kakra komo ye didi ne na no pɛ no eno na awia yi ye be to aso fa Black Stars yen game a eno a ye boy aye ne Cape Verde omo hye kaminu emiati mu ebaako bafo wa fe krom.
Oh yeah.
Na ekrom te say amanfo ra ho
abufuo areho ene achinigye ena ebi nso adwenkyere na ye wo mo so wo arehimo na say ni da so kakra say achia no so emu ye enti eno na asisi ano wokrum enti no mixed reaction mixed feeling ɛna ɛwɔ town a obiara ka deɛ ɔyɛ Mr. Tiffy ɛkyerɛ ha yɛ abes no mo abes mo mpomade no ata abes no masama no oh me de me nkɔfo mu nya hɔ deɛ me lemu pa ɛde kokosi kwa me mo kwa me tela mu ne ade no
Ovanko. Na hene amoko.
Me de Asante good mines, Asante good fields, yeah. I am kina farmer. Then I Nanabe Wabra, what's the name?
Idi.
No, Nanabe Wabra. What do you mean?
Now we need to go on him.
It's when you bafo na introduce you.
Already but there's some areas where the key area of farming farm. Even hello, sorry, the whole boss of some side on farming farm. And tell us for farming farm. I tell us about community also of farming.
Tell us for no they will come on Beju.
Bafo my minty report.
And mixed reactions. Your mom for say any almost secret in Coney Accra. I cried or say I will say cried or say a gun and in our quite attack recruiting on canoe have got one normal nina boom na the BCS until I don't know almost a mono honomo those that feels and as a thing say recruiting a year your man enough opportunity on tray say a man a man no 1 year the year man ye no omono ho you almost so amofo say the entire football system no I corrupted on say minim ebi aminu no beti maboa me a on say there's a general perception and I believe say people pay to play for the national teams and that your unkofo they take money from players or managers and introduce them to coaches and as a coaches by themselves also takes money ebi nkra no etina omo say they call football and so those in charge of administration, you know, any other and also it generated a lot of discourse because Obi Bisa say, I could say, Bruni, the way then before Bobo, better than born called no bo. One trouble, no more for no more boss. The ocean number 7 Jason. Yeah, boy. That was you're funny, yeah, wow. Also, yeah, boy, being Bruni to Germany. We were not Germany. Next set when you be more that. And there are people who think like that, meaning how, but it is very, very strong on the grounds. Pay kakra mimi fa krumu matititi ni die. Kofo start thinking no and our perception and I believe when they say obi banya national team ba just what test card ama obi and amanfo ankofo susu say omo ye test card mo wana asa omo gisika ama yikofo run national team no those in charge of football no the GFA administrators no and coaches no and those people no agents managers no kofofo say omo no they take money from the players or pay money to people and say no wetin available and also and so they are questioning the rationale behind some invitation to some players ebinom so I discuss the day you say omo fo say a time that he says enough is enough. I've paid my dues to the nation and so I want to move on. It's hard discourse also our system anymore. Ebinom cry for say senior no local players no must also be given some space as they ebinom because question back we be say was Kingsford no one position but I'm so no obo ye man role no obo as the number 10 so and was number 10 no so no na say we the anchor and I say the main central person
linkman
the linkman any attack no I'm saying I was say na say number 10 ya no boy there and calamity bit my boss in sao question back what we be say
lamte me nya report view Minya repose be
on Lamty.
You say since I were a blasters in a home tono as a baby or yare.
And now you're saying
that's why you're seeing the TNA.
Because Nemuno said this time there, M said players need to bench you. But he was not even
no, he
18 no.
You indicate the
But
18.
you never bench.
But okay. Yeah, I'm sure Jesse. Yeah, I'm sure Jesse. So,
By she goalkeepers me just.
by she goalkeepers me New Jersey. So against the number one or them no. While there's a goalkeeper no, there were three goalkeepers and a dresser here. So that clearly tells you say there was something wrong somewhere. So what I say and say kudus ain't me more. Not the day I am rare. Anka the likely number 10 should be Lamptey. But boy no me minimum position of ball the team of ball. Nti me person me koka say on your number 10. But you could see say he was lost in his own world. Completely baby no enam no. I say wako talk baby a when you saw time wa won dia wo ye no. Nti we rather expose him, gave him out and he became a public radical. Clearly born and obo no ball a sa no obo no. Particularly because of I think a Jordan crab button e bia be better than ono no kra ne 10 na ye man boy no. Nti eno so discussion a was system ni mu a. Nti there's a lot na among for HSS Niga efi a omo esibrim Gambia for no say ha we mu no mani abram person omo je cap no. Right from the word go omo my indicators say one me diagram me yema senia Egypt for share go under 2 minutes omo ka say we dey be for manu bom so na afi omo wo omo 9 na so omo struggle to even get the equalizing goal no. Omo see Senegal for omo ntina omo sa aden to omo hit the ground running, get the job done and then take a good rest. And some of these things in our system no one can for discussing.
Okay. Obed, yenhwe yentwaso enra ankwase de esi pe no. Keved 2 Ghana 1. Ensebebre na manfo ka as usual your population is do say 30 say.
They have 30 plus.
And mu be fa so mo represent Ghana no be 40 something and wo kodiboa. Ya kan nyina ye coaches but nye ne begina touchline coach but Ghana de oba na wo ye bibi na nko ya obi abekire na adwene yenhwe Black Stars team no after ye defeat Enra the next game ye Thursday e dey na see Enra awfu say ye correction a ebetimi aboaye ama yenya resource a ebehye yim kran say oh at least say we akwedi to enwoma ya even last game kran no ebetimi dia kurura the knockout stage of the competition.
No, the last population census of me Kived no one do 600,000.
Kived could and some of them won't know so
do 600,000.
No omugu mpoano
and the papa say at the end of 102.7
FM.
That would be the best. I say ade bi wa essay na we wa nso be so no abetimi aso anu ama ade na nyankwa but ebe akọ say at a time that you least expected nti ni papa mu a enya ndwiringu I started ndwiri no ye man ndwiringu ne ma be hyehyɛ now last week I had certain key remarks concerning the Black Stars and how I may expect it, why I don't expect them to do anything massive via our Cote d'Ivoire. Now I'm for objections to that. But me and Radi see you know Nanyamawa. Yes, as a Ghanaian is a two I bear way. I saw bear cut exams now on pad you see a beans no diagro now we'll catch exams will be fail you exams will be fail you. So results ne banwa failure a bear way as a jack. We invest or bem and I say unia prebe or yasonia echo exams were failing. But when you sit back and look at the signs and signals na daho proud to akwala no ko exams na addition fan serious you look back and say well say we they are not training to no a particular results. Now one the nti aba betru bibia duro ne say ya data ye ho ache e wokruma because we have this kind of emotional affection towards the Black Stars nintino. Adie ye anke obi fufure be pay ma ka chen say in a do Black Stars there na ye be say e kwana ye ni si kakra. The signs have been there. We are not good enough. Period. Ye nyade. And ye na ye nyade and start from our playing body. We don't have players that are committed towards the cause. Yes, you can talk about coach, which we will break it down in due course. But at the end of the day, can you say, "Mrantie do ba kuna ye di omu jina go pramano so." Any of my trim free chains and Beshimo. Fakasiana, modern bonnie and swany. Name ya walk one more mutrima or mode, and one feelings on my idea. Enti the morning one swanya. O tres am soon so fail, Ubomodi area with me a person. Only say kakra no watch no be passing tino. Oh yampo nankwet me say true. We are not good enough and we have overhyped our players. So there's some form of arrogance being able to you always be punished by a committed teamer. Determined to get something meaningful from your community. And then we are 2 against Kivet. 1. Our goalkeeper is not good enough. Young Kano Krencher, Richard Ofori is not in his prime. Ofori na maybe a twem wow stars or graduate ebe fa national under 23 ne na mu a ede ko gina mu blasters a wo da go ana wo gidie say ya bonu mo be chinsia no mo se goalkeeper bonu mo chinsia wo chetu o ba obe sa ache no. That is not the goalkeeper we have in our post. And again ye nyina ye tena kroma atizigi enji ni ndi da uti obi atena sa atizigi da upo ba o gini di enji ni ndi Jojo Walla caught in the last AFCON. There were 7 shots on target, and 5 got on the net. Yeah, in himself goalkeeper, the standard nini soro, and these are our 3 goalkeepers. But because it's Ghana, we want to sit back and say it will be okay. It will not be okay. You will be exposed. It is from Tetiemu big last 2 years. Listen, our goalkeeping department, and how can you down? Oh, you have managing. Is this the Richard Ofori and Nana? The modern day goalkeeper should create what we call passing options for the defenders when they are building up. Now you're pressing and no beer we can vet excellent pressing. But the engine I to say goalkeeper near Bobo on the man I want to be grand fan and I'm control ball. And started build up. How many successful kicks? And I reach the 49. Kicks Papa Ben, your bomber reach the 40 with me bone here. Saves in the crowd in the same direction. Look at the first goal, for instance. After born in Tonet, I feel no be a say, you goalkeeper in Yadi. Yes, you need to on Yadi against Namibia Okroma. We saw how he was shaking in goalposts. But I see a Bayerian. You cannot win a tournament. You cannot go to a competition and play well when your goalkeeper is not in a good form. Goalkeeper Nyadie, look at how he organizes his defense, how he communicates with his defenders. No form of communication, no form of command, and a goalkeeper on the side. They are tossing you. You're too near training. And a boy, you bet me about power 2 ne 3. One won't cross the line, quiet cross. Prime Barcelona. Look at how Dani Alves contributed to the attack of Barcelona. Prime Real Madrid. Heboana Marcelo Ubo. Ghana Enya Krano. Harris Mafumujina Monasu Kakran. We saw what they were doing on the wings. John Pinson, we saw what they were doing. Hans said, "This happened to me in Kwanenima. Obe making sure some more defensive stability." And now he give you a mensa. Ni position is a big issue. What you say when him crown a win team ko and quiet crosser a chino hono. You count to as a defender. Your defensive work rate must be excellent and not checking the positioning, which is basic. How you position yourself to close the spaces. Boy, Niba Kobiabo said he's out of position. And now a professor to say yes, opinion so only foul. At the end, any tria, we all know Ali du said to go against US. We saw his performance. And the video near the year series. Play our ball friendly match. I need a friendly match. It's not part of preparation. Yeah, you bought for also and 102.7 FM. No, a dinner hole. I'm a nipan de born a quiet to Chroma near the series. And the what to your tournament. Sometimes you need players on the bench. Or more tough competition to do a dinner mumba no asano. Sadiana and Ali said to boy last match. Match many ball Baba Cray. Central African Republic near Angola match. A do there didn't see free. These players are not playing well. But we are not able to tell them. Look at Salisu Jiku. Jiku won the man of the match, but to me, undeserved. Yes, you talk about the seriousness, which is something that is lacking in most of the Blasters players. But the bottom line is, Check how he goes into tackle. Look at the first goal, for instance. Gideon Mensah out of position. Alexander Jiku out of position. Baba Idrusu, a defensive midfielder. As a defensive midfielder, when you realize you should have what you call the scanning ability. Usha Park, so no one will be our players down on that position, Papa. What was a Gideon Mensah free defensive line? Jiku a free right centre back position. I come in Kumo. Honey, a Salis to a Juma because I'm not neighbor as the left centre back. No? What do you do as a defensive midfielder? Drop up a share. He was Baba Idrusu was nowhere to be found. And now basic things like concentration. Keke. Around the 78th minute, there was a back pass. The team wanted to build from the back. And I'm passing my Baba Idrusu. Otina Osana Kevin Nibefa about no channel and yellow card. Basic things like concentration and composure we were lacking in the game. We have issues with our coach, but Yamrantiano, a true baby, a modern one of the General Park in the Sobono, as a shame form. I had to so be a washer 5B. I feel what the ball need Diagro. Player for player, country for country, and club for club. Jesse Neshono, they were not working to merit the Jesse. Nana Kevin de Opo. You should have what called self-assessment. And so when you who say, Kevin Namene Bow passing mint yes ye, for coach ton chain, coach the account was a monyadi for the ton chain. Me and Casayan Cassia Jiraha, country na I represent your mono. Woman in born a bontes, yes, you do as way, ye after me dear. Look at the players, and they were comfortable with Kevin passing them around. We watch Egypt versus Mozambique. Egypt were losing. But you could see the determination, the eagerness to do something. Oh, Egyptians. And now I have Black Stars players. It's like nothing is at stake. Now, the second thing, apart from we accepting that, you just add you start from basis. No, as I should be, you coach, opinion. You coach, Croman and say, oh, yeah, men's good here. The men's good here. I say, a good, kama, and a profile, and a class. Up to date. Last week, you know, make catch us say, coach, you were Nyama, you were Pencil, you were Inaki, you were Semenyo, you were Kudus, you were Osman Bukari. Coach, you were Jordan. Me last week na make catch us yes start here. On to me form the right front three. Me can say nipa miensa san nip din ya body. So be match san miensa we am complement each other. I'm bringing the best out of each other and on to me yeah. Me can last week because we've been here with this coach on this man tia trabru 8 months on to me na the front three. We be sure as you and then the Harry boy me exactly to bo no maboni on timi and oh yeah the obey say we you free not the way back not to two ogum say ya and no head near my buy zero contribution up to date in Naki bobo let's go bobo coach ntimi hu kwan obefa so e dey Naki tina baby obetimi aboni ye. So it's not about what the players are doing in their clubs, it's about how you fit them into a system for them to play just like they are playing in their clubs. And what the Naki Bejina 9. Then I can go and do 5 near point.
May I say, Obed, Captain?
Yes, sir.
Young
and somewhere they said, Basia, you can the past 10 years, Lydia, say in Black Stars is full of disappointment. You come back now, you talk shop. You can't be a tinena, me, Brapenny, I know could you John T. Bois. Now, or say, Anka, a platform on which me about trumpeters and Sims in Amzana.
Sir,
when we are, I before say, Utan Ghana,
watching everything, friend.
What does he?
It is sensible.
Say, I'm gonna open over Trana. No cancer.
Oh, he's a sea.
Oh, Ghana, what's no US?
This is Ghana, side him or tea.
Other sometimes I also would my quiet.
We wait me a friend.
At any point in time, Martin.
And Tiami had much now.
Martin.
And to catch
he's ever ready.
Catch an answer, friend.
He's ever ready.
No, so chen.
Yes, he's ever ready. And I will no program. The use of my best friend as I catch him. Who's there? I didn't know because I'm surprised. Say we are going to disappoint because from day one, me need that confidence in them Black Stars. First, yeah, ball. Now, at any point, you want to go and watch. But, football no, is being destroyed. And nobody cares. Tianopaname can say, well, it's not about an individual, it's not about the FA. Because me, Mr. Poku, me kind of say, if football need, and as a sport, I'm at the youth now. Maybe I see talk of Maculations, Samuel Jans, all those players, and they, you born with the through this football and sports. So, and the call for your penny for the football and as a sports, Ediba. Why is that any a buying frantic effort to make sure say we do things right? Today we are saying that's okay, Sahana, Yakana, that's okay. I have football people and a football for I say football people want the island to be. And our minus water baby. But successive government make a main can't go see the MPP government to see. Successive government a bar or more approach to football. And why yes, we do too much say the minister who in sports authority or quite almost any macra. But me free say a sa ban transit. Who say but you have the football corner. I didn't. What I make I say you have any offense saying Kevin for boy over 1 away show 7 goals.
2006 Germany World Cup qualifiers.
So in 2005 getting to 2006, about over 2 I get 7 goals against them. Kevin. So that team no bet to me as I said Nema. A country population is around 600,000. That is the case. Ever said Nema. Not as 1,000 year farmers womb, teacher for womb, a doctor for womb, nurse for womb, footballers womb, mechanic for womb, all sort of businesses womb. But few know where footballers now can play and play like get one year away. Look at how much build up. Look at how much passing the accuracy to which they pass. Look at the confidence to which of the bubble. Say almost throw Ghana. Everything I rise here to the extent that almost Ghana a bubble. Getting to the latter stages and go be free say teams like I send there. No boy do celebrate. That's a small team. And when you score line, you know. Now what try say who close to ranks, making sure say we born by the one draw. They were not comfortable with it. But instead they were pushing. Because before so we go here, we say last go by. Look at Bob go we strike at the fire. Oh, right defense me no them.
Yeah.
Oh, Mujana keep on say we. Among other things and also. So me sure one that's where I'm sure no. Me sure Ghana today. Me sure Ghana the next years ahead of us. Say be ekoi. And my yes had na dey be no. E say pe kwan fufuro bi fa so. Na football ehun you 2 among. It can be done. But because obi ayi nani aban na onu na say ga o take the lead no. Afan say football no FIFA say. But nyasa na FIFA say nyasa na tie sa. FIFA can say aban person invest in football, won't me invest it. If I watch that there's a thin line. Ah baby aban wo sika koro. I want to be checks and balances. But you can call every other out to call. And with this FA or in there, Black Star, yeah, FA holding in trust for the government, you know. But the government is a call. See a coffee tournament, not the government go, baby. I buy it to be sure. I could do. But yeah, then I buy and come home and I have some more, and I yard, you know. But this is a big institution. This is a big idea. And the boy youth, no. And your youth and sports. The youth benefit a lot from that sporting activities, no. I'm a bit brave for, and you might be anybody be a it's all employment and anybody. I said I want more baby. I don't know because I see I heard the football adding my economy. No, see I see you do football and my economy, baby. But because your man didn't call ye, at the BI select players a qua, ya casa. I better for the no can someone that you're quite near disappointed. Nayaba. It will maybe cook tournament. I can call when I'm far. They will try to do things right. Nanka the man ako. I don't know, you know. Yeah, they behind your call reverse, carry reverse year. Look at Senegal. I hear that Senegal will be how they decided to give the team to a coach. I listen to say. Ketesi initially by a but when they decided, say they know they were more. And Senegal is a delight to watch. last 2 years or so ọmụ ji bibi Africa ọmụ ji bibi Africa ebe ji cup of nation na ọmụ nye da what I say tournament bi na ebo bia Senegal because they sat down ọmụ say nneɛma yie to ọmụ kɔ waka ọmụ kɔ ọmụ nim but you don't say Ghana ha look at the preparation they call it me kaipa say I got your panama because and I about tournament na say you hui e wa na ya be ka kire say yes Ghana about campo South Africa now if there is statement say if your first communications manager statement your coaching decision and about na if you know aja too just to let you know who say baby South Africa come for ka hu 17 no or no so coaching na kai because I say mo hu your ha no was such a youth aba just after that you know you abo kuma say so who was such a tournament your baby preparation but only one match against Namibia all this thing ebom o preparation how you tournament natural serious as how they competition only one match and a boy that aside no about your coaching no hwe football and yeah you say flux so bet my can say coach what run for all these years you should know your team when was the last time when was the first time my friend saw your boy buy a national team say he been around for some time but coach you friend much say o money mobi until the last game you bought now you against your friends say Namibia and I'm on Bobby Arras Stadium it's another because say who got such a competition the biggest competition in African football calendar Okoya no exposed to play the player learn is a winger Oda Koko number 10 and I say they didn't come there you know so about more they now the player coach no more you know and anya hwe ka dey ni e man ka kever for ka e akowe there e di ye ni be koron kakra it was like when him dey know your park and so right he was exposed and fat and the coach of the team one me do be so your advice I go back now go advice your team say coach is any man fasa so aside that the time or the changes I know again because we have to us I remember I'm no kasa na me busa asem say why did the coach change semenyo even pencil crab na obo no ya ka player no take on onkofo no on pa na no maybe just that semenyo man or man I want me ask you for net no maybe I no na be ka na say as you sure that say yeah koro player dey can be change no ayi na firu it no say even when you good performance ko you know your friends say you san adwene because other than that who why obey semenyo at that time
okay
so any man doso and it's affecting
kakra
we need to set up as a country and I make another say I will not write them off totally either I will 2 games
look promising
6 a year but it doesn't look promising
Alassane Said Zaki
nanu ya no nam Senegal ebo omu local league ni bi me ma this narration e dey link ye kroma say de nti ayen ball no ye be chepa yan say ye suban ya jibo de bia ye be wi abafie saa our attitude and kind of so a transition very poor ye kase from 2008 eba be si hinfa de bia yan ko fa na be ko se fa na players no mo free hinfa o free local league ya mu asaro mutu kwan a no mako chese ampa local league no mo no bon local league no they were the best mutu kwan so mako bobra pa na de waboso mo national team ni fa man eti wo hwe ya sa period na ye ko en first world cup no senya pia enyo local league ya Markelesen enyo local league ya Jomensa enyo local league ya just mention them like say money all those players no they played in this local league and sado mutu kwan so they traveled near a way to transition very well all the team no yeka 2010 boys na moko 20 no munya baf you all the rest of local players ana me boa they were no munam kroma say ba ku me nu me na ya wo mo de den kwa na ase obuni se on there ya wo nu kroma say e no on bo local league na edin be wura mu eti sad adwin na ya de ase trim sa fe de local league no ene papa mua so na mua football fo ya na mo kwa na makwa mu kululu ba so ye ti ase ye fese ma so kunu wa say mua na se ade mu ni because of musuba boninti mu kwa na makwa fese games into no you don't trust these boys and can say dey intida and our youth teams no player ebo na otukwan pa yeso onya de player ebo local league mu otukwan pa yeso onya de yentimi enfani wura team mu eti ade be pa ene ekoso kroma se ejibo eti until say you better say attitude yeso ban towards your local league no because me just say ye ka say ye clubs ye mwa modern Africa Senegal team bi abonu modern Africa Senegal team bi no abonu modern Africa ba ka say bia omo ko Africa omo modern ti do their local league no can produce a talent who can bet matasa eti yan say suban a ye bebre now me feel say coach no so no or no so de a team that you've coached for almost 1 year you should know your team me feel say sa boys young guys bi na omo team ne no obi de say niama la min sa de ni bia o la min kamara de all the different is that o de ofri Denmark team na akọ Olympic Lyon but ocean age na a coach must have confidence say baby I do you know because na mrempo left it and the right when dey tete ball na all the right and the right and your kwa on twin cat in monje but ocean bibia when Yama came in okwa na ye mpo a he cut in wo box out 18 balls na mu and your players bia omutimi wuri pembo la or a lot of courses inside the 18 balls now about 2 or 3 it was dangerous for Cape Verde to defend. But a coach must have confidence. I was out boys in say mo nkoboboro e chira ode am say Gideon Mensah for a very long time he is disappointed na Ghana for dodo na de monisi babara man so babara man ekunto kuma Gideon Mensah ba lokanya me enemy Gideon Mensah hasn't shown anything until biaso e better babara man. The reason why I remember many siasia they no muhuru bono stadium no ye be ka bi chire Ghana for say Southman is my papa national team there enya de papa so wo bonu mo so bonu mo dio why uko huru say dey meanwhile bonu so Gideon Mensah emba papa bi anse babara man ko ma say ba on dey huru no
yeah papa bi answer baba man ba ehuru no so nyakopon I think say God have a nice way of shutting people down, punishing people. Who say yeah kwa boy ne ka say Ghana for so man to mba no gesa boy no so go baba man game na obo bia since I oka so mba Ghana for so man to mba no game bia boy be so go ma park in the Greece league eti me feel say yes but those that we have no but say Greece league there if a team like PAOK every day they are in Europe one more Champions League or Confederation Cup relatively you understand the Greek league is better than French league 2 the Greek league is better than French league 2 so if we player no about Greek league better than player about French division 2 it me feel say you collapse ne kwai first of a place ni binim no ya nhwe ni ne anso side no so a it will come a long way to hunters and goalkeeping keepers mienza no anya biai obia the kroma se nko na keepers effect mienza the on the man da we south ban we ya trophy say offer keeper mienza no the ono ni team on dabi o ni ama no ono eda ahead of